In this video, I will describe how to clinically distinguish between reversible pulpitis, irreversible pulpitis, necrotic pulp, and a normal tooth. Clinically, I will also describe the clinical modalities like thermal test, including cold test, hot test, to distinguish between these four different types of clinical entities. So let us start from reversible pulpitis. This is a clinical diagnosis which is characterized by accentuated response to cold or hot compared to the neighboring or contralateral teeth. Once again, the response will cease immediately or very soon upon the withdrawal of the stimulus. So, when there is a stimulus, there is a response. There is no spontaneous pain. The patient reports an undesirable need to avoid food or beverages of either temperature extreme, that means either cold or hot. This type of pulpal sensitivity is best exemplified by a tooth with a new restoration. Other common causes are root exposure from periodontal inflammation, periodontal treatment, or any recent extraction of an adjacent tooth. There is an occasional onset after minor trauma in cases of reversible pulpitis. Some teeth will develop symptoms without an apparent cause. If an etiology such as caries, exposed cervical margins of dentine, or fractured cusp is discovered, the majority of cases will resolve after appropriate restorative treatment. In no case does the inflammation spread into the periradicular tissues, so no periapical changes are seen in these types of cases. On occasion, the patient might experience continued mild pulpal pain from the minimal restorative procedure like class 1 amalgam or class 3 composite restoration. In all these situations, if the sensitivity is not improving after 2 weeks, or removal of new restoration and placement of the base or sedative dressing may alleviate the symptoms. The problem with this approach, however, is that any additional restorative procedure has the potential to cause additional pulpal inflammation. For example, if you have done a restorative restoration, it has the potential to cause additional pulpal inflammation. Consequently, replacement of new restoration with a sedative temporary restoration may have the opposite effect. Reversible pulpitis generally will resolve spontaneously and gradually in 4 to 6 weeks upon the removal of etiologic factors. Root canal procedures are generally not indicated for reversible pulpitis. Monitoring the patient is indicated. Occasionally, when pulp testing is done, it reveals that symptoms are due to root exposure. Desensitization solutions or toothpaste may be recommended to decrease the sensitivity. In some cases, this type of hypersensitivity may not resolve after many months of monitoring, which may indicate that the pulp is inflamed beyond its ability to heal. Then it may be irreversible pulpitis. Now let us understand what is irreversible pulpitis. Irreversible pulpitis is defined by the symptoms of prolonged painful response to thermal stimulation or presence of spontaneous tooth pain with no obvious stimulus. Unlike reversible pulpitis, painful reactions to temperature may last for minutes to even hours. The symptom is typical reason patient seeks dental treatment if he is suffering from irreversible pulpitis. If present, the spontaneous pain can also last for hours and awaken the patient from sound sleep. Often, teeth with irreversible pulpitis become painful to biting pressure as well. The diagnosis of irreversible pulpitis with localized pain can usually be made within a few minutes of taking the patient's history and performing the sensitivity test. During clinical testing, any tooth that exhibits a reaction longer than 10 seconds is considered to have irreversible pulpitis and is indicated for root canal treatment. This response occurs with either temperature extreme and occasionally both extremes simultaneously. It is not unusual to observe dramatic painful responses from relatively mild temperature extreme. Teeth that react with pain to cold can either be unaffected by heat or pain is intensified by the application of heat. Cold, on the other hand, will frequently temper or completely relieve pain in teeth due to heat stimulation. Patients with acute heat sensitivity and experiencing prolonged or spontaneous pain will sometimes arrive for examination sipping ice water to control the pain. Upon excess opening in these teeth, a small amount of purulence is often seen, followed by excessive hemorrhage due to presence of an intrapulpal abscess. What is necrotic pulp? The physiological health or pathosis of dental pulp might be thought of as a continuum that begins on one end with the normal pulp and progresses through the stages of increasing pulpal inflammation and degeneration. As you can see from this flow chart, the normal progression of a normal tooth, then to reversible pulpitis, then to irreversible pulpitis, and ultimately ending up in a form of necrotic pulp. Ultimately, the pulp becomes necrotic, though pulpal necrosis is the end point of a pulp with irreversible pulpitis. Symptoms for the two diagnostic states have a completely different manifestation. These two diagnostic states are inflammation and degeneration, which ultimately results into necrotic pulp. Whereas thermal sensitivity is the hallmark of inflammatory condition, there is no thermal sensitivity with a necrotic pulp. The patient experiences no symptoms of pain from thermal stimulation and the clinician elicits no response on testing. What is normal tooth? The clinical definition of a normal is a response to cold at a low level of magnitude and immediate cessation of the response on withdrawal of the stimulus. That means when you apply a cold sensation to the tooth structure in a normal teeth, it will respond normally without showing any severe hypersensitivity or pain. It will respond in a normal sensation, and if you are applying heat to the same teeth, it will also respond in a same normal sensitive way. However, if you will apply hot and cold sensation to the gingivally exposed tooth, it may respond with hypersensitivity.